Hi guys, it's Larry again, and you're welcome to Osun-Osogbo Grove. Yeah, we're gonna be learning some history about this historical Sacred Grove. Yeah, there are a lot of story about it, and now we're gonna be going in to get a tour guide to tell us about those interesting stories. So stay tuned to this video and make sure you watch it to the end. All right, let's get into the video.
Osun-Osogbo Sacred Grove. My name's Araji Lillian. I'm going to be your tour guide. Osun-Osogbo Sacred Grove is a World Heritage Site enlisted July 15, 2005. The grove covers 75 hectares of land. In these 75 hectares of land, no farming, no fishing, no fetching of firewood. Then we have the buffer zone. The buffer zone is about 47 hectares of land. This is where Osogbo started from before they moved down to the present day Osogbo. This is where the Osun-Osogbo festival is celebrated annually. This is where people come to fetch the herbal water called Agbo. And this is where we have the Osun River, where the river goddess Osun resides. On this gate, I'm going to tell you what each of these represent. This represents cowries, Owo-Eyo. We call it Owo-Eyo in Yoruba. It's whitish in nature. This is the money we used then in the olden days in our country, Nigeria. But presently, we have the Naira note. This is a drummer. Yoruba people are known for ceremonies, for celebration. From the start of the festival to the end of the festival, you see drummers dancing, beating drum and dancing and celebrating. And in the olden days, they were sprayed with cowrie, but nowadays we spray them with Naira note. Those that have dollars and pounds can also do that. This represents the goddess Osun. As you can see, she's a mermaid, half fish, half a woman. This represents a mother preparing agbo concoction for her children. While this represents the virgin girl, we call her Arugba Osun. Arugba Osun is the virgin girl that will carry the calabash to the river during the Osun-Osogbo festival. She must be from the Ataojas family, the present kingdom family. We call her Arugba Osun, and she must be a virgin. This is someone in bondage. They believe that whoever takes the water from the river, the herbal water, which is called Agbo from the river, he or she will be free from his bondage. Why this is called Ina Atupa Olojumere Idologun, the 16-point lamp. This lamp was taken from the prairies by the first settlers. 3 days of the Osun-Osogbo Cultural Festival, they are going to light this lamp from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. The Ataoja of Osogbo, the chiefs, that's the Oloyes, the Osun devotees, they will dance throughout the 3 times. It mustn't go off. If it goes off, it's going to have a negative impact on the community. This is a gong. This big gong is used as a means of communication in the olden days by town criers. But the smaller size of it, we call it Aja in Yoruba. The Osun devotees will use it to greet us by saying Oreye yo, and we answer in response by saying Oreye yo Osun. This is Timeyin. Here, this is the man that discovered this forest. Over 600 years ago, Osogbo people were in a place called Ipole-Omu. While they were at Ipole-Omu, they were experiencing drought, no water. So this Timeyin, the hunter, the great elephant hunter, while hunting, he came across this big forest and a stream. He was happy. Where he found the stream, they called it Lakokan. He was like, wow, this is water. Back in my village, Ipole-Omu, we don't have water. He went back to Ipole-Omu to inform his people. My king, Laroye, the Owaroke of Ipole-Omu, I have seen water in the place. The king too was what? Happy. The king, his people migrated down to this place. Or getting to this place, what did they do? They have to clear the bushes, clear the trees, and the rest. In the moment while they were doing that, the branch of the tree they were cutting fell into the river, and they heard a voice saying, Laroye, Timeyin, Etifo Gbogbo Ikoko Aromi, Laroye, Timeyin, you break all my dying pot. They were shocked. What is happening in this forest that we just came into? What type of forest is this? That moment of shock. The fairies in the forest say, Osun-Igbo Pele, Osun-Igbo Erora. They were more shocked than astonished that what is happening in this type of environment. After the divination and consultation, they told them the goddess Osun lives in the water. She welcomes them. that she's going to prosper them, that they can stay, she's going to protect them, that the barren among them she's going to bless with children. But in return, a virgin girl will bring certain items to her, which give birth to the Osun-Osogbo cultural festival. We gave birth to that virgin girl, bringing sacrifice to the river. That's how they renew their mystical birth, and that's what has been happening over 600 years ago. So this is Timenyi, the great elephant hunter that discovered the forest. This is the first king of Osogbo, who's called Laroye Gbadewolu. Osogbo people are known for tie and dye, adire, and you see this person making adire batik. You see the goddess too. When they first encountered the goddess, it was like, Laroye Timenyi, why do you break my dying pot? Kilode 30 for Ìkòkò Àrò. And there's a credit, a song to this saying, Osogbo ìlú Àrò, Oroki Asala, Ààrẹ Opeta. You see that Osogbo people are known for tie and dye, for batik. Like I said, from the beginning of the festival to the end of the festival is drumming, dancing, and celebration. This is Arugba's roots. On the day of the festival, this is the path that the virgin girl Arugba, while she is carrying the calabash, this is where she will take. Herself and some of the selected devotees will take this route down to the river side. So we either call it Yemo's house or Arugba's route. While she is carrying the calabash, she mustn't talk. She will have orogbo in her mouth, that's bitter kola. Then they don't pray she stumble. Whatever happens to Arugba is going to have a negative effect on the community. So when she have orogbo in her mouth, they believe she's coming with the gods. So we are entering the groove now. This is the traditional entrance to the groove. It's called the Ark of the Flying Tortoise. We call this the mystery cat, Ologbo Gigolo, used by the elders. This is a conjuring hand, also by the elders. Now, this is a masquerade. In Yoruba, we call masquerade Egu. We call it Egu Kamololu. This masquerade doesn't dance to drum beat, it dance to shekere. This Omele. This is a bata drummer. This Egu Oba, the king's masquerade. The Ataojo of Osogbo, this is his masquerade. We call this Egu Opeleba. In the group, we have antelope, monkeys, snakes. This to tell you that we have snakes in the groove. This is a deity. This deity is called Lajomi. This when Lajomi is covering her beauty. And this when Lajomi unveils her beauty. So this is what she was covering. Yeah. This Egu Elelo, another masquerade in Osogbo. This is Timenyi, the great elephant hunter that I told you discovered this forest over 600 years ago. This is an agere drummer. This type of drum is specifically used by hunter. This to show you we still have snakes in the groove. The first king of Osogbo was the king at Ipele-Omu, known as Laroye, the Owaroke of Ipele-Omu. When he came to Osogbo land, they called him Laroye Gbadewolu, indicating that he continued the reign as his king in Osogbo land. This is a drummer. These are masquerades. During the festival, you also see different types of masquerade. This is called Egu Labuata, Egu Aronugbogi, Egu Eyefodo. These Osun preachers, or we call them Yeye Osun, when we get there, we'll see them sitting. They will use this gong, this small one, they call it Aja, to greet us. Oreye yo. We reply by saying Oreye yo. This is Osun goddess. She's a mermaid. You see, half fish, half human. This is a snake. This is another masquerade called Egun Olori Meta. This Osun priest, we call it Aworo Osun. The virgin girl I told you about, Arugba Osun, this represents Arugba Osun, and that represents Atupa Oloju Meridilogun, the 16-point lamp. Like I told you earlier on, I said the group covers 75 hectares of land, and the buffer zone is about 47 hectares of land. In this 75 hectares of land, I told you there's no farming, no fishing, no fetching of firewood, no hunting. We have over 400 species of plants here in the grove, in which over 250 of them are medicinal. People come here to cut the leaf for different herbal use. Then the water in the river, we call it agbo, is herbal water. You cannot come here and tell me, please madam, I want to go and fetch water in the river. No, you want to take herbal water. And people from all walks of life come here for sightseeing. Tourists also come. The students come for research based on their field of study, like pharmacy, historian, archaeologists, depends on their field of study and what they are making research on. It's a living shrine and a sacred forest. When you visit, sometimes you see devotees, you see traditionalists coming here for prayers, appeasement, and consultation. That is why we say it's a living shrine. And whatever we do here must be cultural and traditional, and must also be under the guidance of UNESCO. Like I said, it's a World Heritage Site, enlisted July 15, 2005. And it was enlisted based on 3 criteria, criteria 2, 3, and 6 of the 10 criteria that UNESCO have. Here I'm going to tell us a brief about an Austrian woman. She's late now. Her name is Susan Wenger Olorisha. She came to Nigeria in the 1950s with her husband, a German man, to University of Ibadan on an assignment. After the assignment at University of Ibadan, they were set to travel back. She said she's no longer traveling back. She had fallen in love with the culture and the traditions of the Yoruba, in which she was at Ede, Ilobu, Osogbo. She was also initiated to the Obatala court. Her other name is Funke. We also know her as, her popular name is Aduni Olorisha. What this place is today as a World Heritage Site, that the history of Osogbo is preserved, is promoted, credit to her, the late Ataojo of Osogbo, some artists and some other prominent persons, that Osogbo history is preserved. Then most of the sculpture you see and structure you see, herself and the artist in Osogbo erected them. This represents her dog, a pet, herself, the traditionalists that work with her, the local artists that work with her. She later got married to a Yoruba man called Ayanshola Jimoh Alapere, a drummer. She died January 2009. Here we have this statue. This is called Osun-Osogbo, Osun, giver of children, goddess of fertility. Like I said, she told the first settlers that the barren amongst them she's going to bless with children. Till today, people still come here to make requests, and people still come here to testify that she has blessed them with children. So we call this statue Osun-Osogbo, Osun, giver of children. This is Idi Eshu. Eshu is not bias, it's not devil. Eshu is God of natural justice, messenger of Orunmila. It's what you ask Eshu to do that he does. If you ask Eshu go and strike A, Eshu will go and strike A. But if after striking A, Eshu notice that the sender is at fault, he will come back to strike the sender. And you see palm oil and the rest, it's those that worship Eshu that use it and pour it there. I showed you Aruba suit at the entrance. This is the exit. This is where Aruba and the devotees will come out on the day of the festival, and they go into the courtyard where we have the first palace and the river. While the Ataoja and other prominent persons will take this main entrance inside. Yes, yes. So we're entering the courtyard now. We call it Agbala Osun courtyard. This is the courtyard. We call it Osun courtyard or Agbala Osun. We have the Diegbe, we have the first palace, we have the pavilion, the Diogun, and Ojúbọ, where we have the river Osun. So we are going inside. I will tell you the story. This is where all the activities on that festival will take place on that day. As Aruba comes in, the Asaruja will sit on the pavilion with other dignitaries, other activities will take place. This is called Idiegbe. This is where those that have spirit mates or heaven mates come to make appeasement and prayer. So we make requests too. So we hear them saying, Egbe Olana Fumi, Egbe Njeki Shorire, Egbe Njeki Logo. And they use sweet items and fruits. That's why you see some now. This is someone that has been blessed by the Osun with twins. Oreye, yo! Ekaso, ma. Please. Yes, ma. You know we have another place that you put money there. So you said you just put it, yes. Oh, yeah. So this is the first palace. We call it Afia Akoko, where the first king Laroye used, and to date it's still being used. As you can see, we see the Oju devotees. I told you it's a living sacred group, right? You see an evidence that it's a living shrine. You see the devotees. Now inside the first palace, we have the stool of authority that the Asaruja of Osogbo will sit on the day of the festival. That's the only time we will sit on that stool of authority. We put on his beaded crown to make prayers. If we are to go inside when the palace is open, we off our shoes, and no recording of picture is allowed inside. Yes, whatever we do here must be cultural and traditional. As you can see, that's what you see there now. This Idiogu, god of iron, those that make use of iron, like the goldsmiths, mechanic, engineers, drivers. Why this is the pavilion. This is where the festival takes place. This is where dignitaries sit down. This is where the king sit down. Even if the president is around, this is where they sit during the festival, while other activities there takes place. We are moving close to where we call Ojuba Osun. We are moving close to the river Osun. This is where people come to fetch the herbal water I told you. This is where people come to fetch agbo. This is where people come to make prayers. And this is where the festival is celebrated annually. The goddess doesn't discriminate. She welcomes everybody. She's a mother of four. She says welcome. She answers their prayers and the rest. Those that wants to pray, they off their shoes, they go to that place and make their prayers. You're welcome. This is an entrance to Igbo Ifa, the Babalawo, the herbalist. This is an entrance to their meeting place. They go with their back, and it's only the initiates that are welcome inside. And when they go inside, they sit based on hierarchy. It's not everybody that will just sit, because they are all initiates. They cannot just sit on any of the seats. They sit based on hierarchy. This represents Boksho. Igu takes sacrifice to Olodumare. Why this represents birds? They send birds on errands. The herbalists send birds on errands. If you read Yoruba history, you watch their movies, you see it. There we have the suspension bridge. It's called Gada Amititi. It was built by the colonial master in 1935, commissioned 1936, to aid them to cross to other farm settlements and other structures outside. When they go, they cross through the bridge. The bridge shakes, so we call it Gada Amititi. At the both ends, we have pillars, but at the middle, there's no pillar holding it. When you climb, you see that it shakes, it vibrates. As you can see, some persons also come through that place from their houses down to other roads. So you can have a look. now come to Iyamoko courtyard. Inside the Iyamoko courtyard, you have Iyamoko statue, Ella, and Chokono. Then this is Oga, Alagemo. They rather call it Oga or Alagemo in Yoruba. It's chameleon. In the olden days, when they are in need of rain, he uses his tail to stop rain and uses his mouth to call for rain, as some from rites are performed by the elders. He's also trying to tell us today that no condition is permanent. Today might be bad, tomorrow will be good. Trying to talk about season and situation. Because if a chameleon is here, you see that he changes his skin color to the color of her clothes. Here we have Shokono lifting his hand up, raising it up. It's called Shokono, Obaluaye, governor of the world. Shokono is god of chickenpox, measles, and smallpox. These are persons pleading, appealing. This is another person begging. Why? Some persons in the olden days will come for prayers and make pledges and promises. When their prayers are answered, they don't fulfill. They don't really remember to come and fulfill their promises or pledges. So they will be inflicted with chickenpox, measles, and smallpox. They will now come back to appeal, begging, pleading that they are going to redeem their pledges. What is he trying to tell us? He's trying to tell us that present day, whatever promises you make, try to fulfill it. Whatever pledges, you redeem your pledges. This statue is called Ella. Ella is just like Jesus Christ, is just like Muhammad. Just as you have Jesus between man and God, Muhammad between man and Allah, Ella between man and Olodumare. It's we call it an intermediary between man and Olodumare. And these are pot of request used in olden days. And you see when Babalawos, the priest herbalists want to do some divination, you see them saying Ella Rowa, Taba Fomoloju, Ariro. Here is Iyamoko structure. Iyamoko is a very strong deity, a friend of the goddess Osun, and she's also a warrior. She's a very huge woman, a tall woman. She has wings, she can fly. Then she has two birds as her servant, Atiela and Atioro. As you can see, this is one of the birds and this is the second one. She sent them, they fly out. If there's any security threat or any problem that wants to come, they will inform her. She will inform the warriors and other people. She has 3 pairs of hands, as you can see. Blessing is the middle one, regret the last one, advice the first one. When you are given good advice, when you take to it, you receive a blessing. But if you don't take to it, it's a regret. Trying to tell us that we should always take to good advice or blessing so that we should not regret. And she's into adire making, palm oil making, and poultry making. She's a very, very strong and hardworking deity. Those are her wings. Her second servant, the bird, Atiela and Atioro. This is another one.
So hi guys, that's all about Osun-Osogbo Sacred Grove, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more of our travel videos. Bye.